like to call this special called meeting for the city of San Juan at 5:30 PM. Mr. Arjona?
Yes, sir, Mayor, members of the board. The first item, Mayor, Commissioners, is public hearing. The first item is hold second and final public hearing to consider adopting the ordinance for the budget for the city of San Juan, Texas for fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2020, and ending September 30th, 2021.
At this time, I'm going to go ahead and open it up for public hearing at 5:30 PM. 5:30 PM. Is there anyone here for or against? For or against? Any members of the commission have any questions for Mr. Arjona?
If I may,
Go ahead, sir.
Mr. Arjona, I was looking back at the recommended budget book that we received, and I did notice that unlike previous years, we didn't receive a job description for the new positions that were being created. Is there a reason why we didn't receive any?
No, actually, no, Commissioner, this year we didn't do the goals and objectives.
We created the budget book, but we actually, since the time, because of the COVID, we had the workshop, we went straight to the proposed budget. But it was in the proposed budget.
So every item that is there.
Saying it's in this proposed budget? Because I didn't see it either. No, I didn't see it in either one. And not only did I not see the job description, but like for the position of public information officer, it wasn't in the proposed budget at all. I don't remember seeing it in the recommended one.
That's sir?
The public information officer?
That one was discussed at one of the workshops for us to include it on the budget, and that's what we did that. We brought it here in a workshop, and it was recommended for us to put it in there. So, that's why we have it at the last booklet.
Last booklet?
At the last booklet, the proposed budget.
The last booklet would be number 3, no? The recommended one?
Yes, sir. That's the proposed budget.
Right. Yeah, well, they're all proposed budget. This is the proposed budget, this is the recommended.
Very good.
Okay. And you're saying that it is in there?
It was.
It's not in there either. It's not in either one.
It was just at the last meeting, they recommended for
Okay. And then I go back to the question that I posed in the last meeting. So when we approve it, we're not approving the book, right? What are we approving? We're approving the book. This is the city manager recommended budget, and then to include, because it doesn't include it, right? It doesn't include, to include the additional.
Well,
positions.
I'm sorry, this does include the wages, yes, it does include it here.
In this-
But there's no.
Job description.
There's no job description.
There's no job description.
Yes.
Okay. And so when, I know it was discussed, you said, at one of the meetings, one of the workshops, correct? And so, if it was discussed in the workshop, like I said, 2 weeks prior, where did we come up with the numbers again? For the salary?
Come up with the numbers?
Yes.
We took an actual survey on different cities, and that's pretty much what they pay. That's the range.
Mhm.
So we included a $53,000 pay salary. Doesn't mean that it's going to be 53, but that's more or less.
It's going to be arranged,
That's more or less what the going rate is,
and based on the qualifications.
based on qualifications, right?
All right.
Experience?
And
And experience. And will we see that before you post, or?
You want to see it before we post it?
I would like to see it, if it's okay.
We can say.
I don't know
no.
what the rest
Well,
of the
I
commission
think,
feels.
I actually, I'm with that as far as to make sure that if we pass it today, obviously, if we will, for it, before we actually post it, we have to have a job description on it. Right?
Right, yeah.
Because that could be part of the motion, correct?
Correct,
anytime-
but,
Anytime we put a position up there, it comes with a job description. obviously.
exactly.
Right,
not
but when
just
we're
a-
approving the book, doesn't come with the job description, correct? Gotcha.
Because in the past, like I mentioned, in the past, we receive it, and so we know what we're approving because we know the job description. We get to see and we get to, if we need to make changes prior to, we can recommend, right? And in this case, we can't because we haven't seen it. So that's my recommendation if we're going to go ahead with that position. Or
We
the
can send,
positions mentioned, the new
let's,
positions.
do a printout of the booklet, and we'll send them a booklet.
We can actually bring the recommendations for approval later on and a later date and approve with the consensus of the board, correct? Of the job descriptions? Or how does that,
I mean, obviously, you can do whatever like us to, for us to do, but my recommendation would be that we'll send you a booklet,
right,
and if there's something that you see that there is maybe not accordingly, we can make any changes.
right,
So you're, the job description?
Job description.
Okay.
right.
Job
Yeah,
description,
but
they're
the,
pretty much standard.
the range of salaries, it varies depending on experience, and all we're doing here today is just basically approving the position,
Right,
okay,
And the
based on what we discussed on the workshop.
exactly. Now,
Okay.
as far as the job description, we can send you a booklet, and we'll make sure that we include that PIO in there.
Okay. Okay. Anything else, guys?
I'm good.
And
Anything?
the other one more, Mayor, if I may.
Go ahead.
And I know that we have on the budget, 200,000 for special, city events, correct? I think it's the first time that we've had that amount in there.
It's, I believe it was for 180 for Noche, and then there were some other events, 4th of July,
Right.
so.
Right, and now being that we are in the middle of a pandemic, and from what we heard last night in the debate, the vaccine will not be available, probably not until the end of the year, maybe even to the summer, from what they were saying. So, looking at the numbers, couldn't we downscale the event itself and maybe invest in city lights, the Christmas lights? Because I know the Christmas lights that we have in the downtown area, some of them don't even work. So is it a possibility that we can make some adjustments to where we can invest in brightening up our downtown area?
As a matter of fact, that's what we're looking at, and not necessarily from this particular budget, this line items, but we're actually looking in getting some of those lightings to be placed on the Nebraska area. But as far as the city events, I mean, there's really, we really cannot downscale it, because what if? So we have to play it safe in the sense that if they come up with a vaccine, or if it's allowable that we can go out and have that event, taking the proper precautions. I didn't want to shortchange our event. Now, it is 200,000, but it's not only Noche de Paz. We got Noche de Paz, we have the Halloween festival, we have the 4th of July, and the other little events that we have here and there. So this is city events only.
Right, no, and
Precisely.
it is designated. The 180, as Mr. Gonzalez mentioned, is only for the Noche de
Right, and
Paz.
that's what I said,
And then
180
7
is-
for the 4th of July, and then 7 for the Halloween.
And again, it doesn't mean that we have to spend the 180, but that's the number that we gave. not
Right.
To exceed the 180.
Right, no, I understand that, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, I understand that we're budgeting 180. My recommendation is, can we, if anything, downscale? I know you don't want to, but downscale
Not
the.
about not wanting to, is that we already have another line item, and I forget where is that, Mr. Gonzalez? But there's something that we're working with ADC and the city together, so that we can put some lightings, Christmas lightings along the Nebraska corridor, which is all the way from the Basilica to City Hall.
But those improvements for the lighting is not in the budget. Because I didn't see it in the budget.
Right. Right, and like I said, the EDC is participating in acquiring some of those lighting as well.
Just make sure you bring it up to the commission, basically, simple. That's how we'll solve that problem, if anything. You know, any changes we do, if we only spend 60,000 this year for Noche de Paz, just inform the commission, we'll put it on the agenda and let us know.
That'll be done on the report that we
Perfect.
submit.
But Mayor, we could actually use also those monies, whatever we don't anticipate, it. In case we don't anticipate Noche de Paz, we can also change the line item.
That's
to
what I
right
was
for-
telling
right-
him. Yeah,
Right.
basically what I was telling
Yeah,
him.
prior
Just
to, not after
bring
the
it.
fact.
Right.
Yes,
Okay.
I agree with Mayor Pro Tem. Thanks, Mayor Pro Tem.
Anything else? If not, I'm going to go ahead and close this at 5:40 PM. Is there a motion to approve? Is there a second? All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, motion carries. Go ahead, sir.
The next item under discussion and possible action on all the following matters. We only have that, consider approval of the Economic Development Corporation 2020-2021 budget. On September the 15th, 2020, the Economic Development Corporation approved of the proposed budget. The EDC board approved the proposed budget unanimously. It's in front of you, so should you have any questions, we can answer them as best as we can.
You mentioned it was unanimous, I'm sorry?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're on, oh, that's right.
Yes.
You're on the board. Okay. So everything was, Commissioner Neto, everything was okay? Okay. Any questions for Mr. Arjona? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Go ahead, sir.
Then under consent agenda, you only have one, which is considered an ordinance and adopting the budget for the city of San Juan, Texas for fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2020 to September 30th, 2021.
At this time, is there anything we need to modify or amend under consent agenda? Modify or amend? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second? I'll second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second? I'll second it. All those in favor say aye.
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 This meeting has been adjourned at 5:41 PM. Thank you.